It is the new year, and if you are like most real estate agents, you want to make sure that this year turns out better than the last. And the big question to ask yourself is, what are you doing different to get you closer to achieving your goals for this year? Typically, the answer is in the form of new marketing efforts or maybe increasing your call volume for cold calls. However, I do challenge you to take a step back and think a little bit more critically about your overall approach. You see, what is often overlooked by most real estate agents that make it very difficult for them to really achieve their goals annually is the fact that they fail to look at their business holistically. You see, most agents tend to have this idea that serving any type of client that needs help with real estate is their ideal customer. However, that is far from the truth. The reality is there are certain types of customers or clients you really derive a ton of positive energy from by working with them, while conversely, there are some clients that you just stay away from like the plague. Emmanuel here, and in today's video, I want to break down real estate customer avatars, what they are, and why they are so vitally important in order for you to get to the next level in your real estate career. Hey guys, I know you're trying to hit some new goals for the new year, and a lot of that has to do with attracting new clients. Before you start taking a deep dive into your marketing efforts and starting to really allocate resources toward new ad campaigns or mailers or auto dialers, I highly recommend you listen up to this video for some tips and some tough love. All right, first, let us start with some tough love. Chances are you haven't been able to achieve your real estate goals simply because you haven't been able to differentiate yourself. You see, most realtors tend to think that their business revolves around helping clients that need help in real estate. However, that is far from the truth. And if this is you, chances are you're not hitting your goals simply because you look like 90% of the other agents out there. You gotta understand, and let's be real here, you are selling the exact same thing that they're selling. To kind of help you better understand what's going on, I really highly recommend that you read or maybe listen to this great book called Blue Ocean Strategy, in where the author breaks down red oceans and blue oceans. To kind of get to the gist of the analogy here, you see, red oceans are red because of the cutthroat competitiveness of an industry. Not to be morbid, but the oceans are red simply because they're filled with the blood of you and your competitors chomping at the bit for new clients. Conversely, there are what are called blue oceans. And blue oceans denote all the industries or opportunities in the industry that do not exist today. These are opportunities unknown by the marketplace, unexplored and unattained by the competition. Like a blue ocean, it is vast, deep, and powerful in terms of opportunity and profitability growth. So really, the gist of this is that you need to reposition yourself into a blue ocean. Now, finding a blue ocean all starts with your avatar. Now, bear with me for a second because I'm gonna get a little abstract now, but I hope you follow along because this is gonna come full circle in the end. You see, most agents tend to think that the way that their business works is that it starts with a client needing help in real estate. So help in RE, and then it really ends with the close of an escrow. Right? And essentially what you do is this part here in the middle. This is your secret sauce. This is how you close the deal. I really challenge you to think a little bit more deeper about your client and really what their motivations are. So I want to use this exact same framework, and I want you to think about where your clients are now and of course where they want to be. Let's say, for example, you have a client that's looking for a lease. Well, in most cases, agents tend to think that, oh, well, if this client is in the starting position of looking for a lease, then their end result is to get them into a lease. And of course, what you do in the middle is the whole fulfillment process, which really takes care of finding a location for them to move into, getting the contract signed, and then getting them moved in. But if you really start peeling apart the onion a little bit more and think about the motivations for this client, the reality is they don't really want to get into another lease if they've been renting. The reality is they want to get into owning a home. So let's take a look back into our framework. And now that we know really what their motivations are, we know that the reality is they aren't looking for a lease, but they are truly looking for ownership. So in this case, we're going to put lease here, and we're going to put ownership here. So what I challenge you to think about is where you can get your clients from where they are now, which is in a lease, into where they want to be, which is ownership. And really what lies in the middle is your fulfillment, or your secret sauce per se. Now, as we look into this example a little bit more, this fulfillment isn't exactly a real estate transaction. It's more of a series of steps that you have to put your client through in order to get them to where they want to be. So step one can be getting them into a lease. Step two can be understanding really, that they want to purchase a home and really starting to diagnose their finances. Step three can be creating a plan to get their credit score up. Step four can be creating a plan to start a savings plan. Step five can be really assessing their income so that they know how much they need to be making or saving in order to get them into this home that they want to own. And of course, steps 6 through 9 can be all about getting them approved for a loan, looking for the home, and of course, getting them moved in. The idea here is that you need to figure out what your clients truly want and become specialists that focus on that one thing that gets them from where they are now to where they want to be. I really hope this is starting to come full circle now. Alrighty, in order for you to understand what you need to specialize in, it really boils down to understanding your ideal customer or your ideal avatar. By the way, I use the term avatar interchangeably with customer persona or ideal customer. At the end of the day, they all mean the exact same thing. They are essentially the person in a perfect world when all the stars and planets align. They show up at your doorstep because this is your perfect client. And this is the client that really, gives you energy and motivates you to want to get up in the morning and do your work. Now, in order to help you identify your avatar, I want to propose a couple of questions for you. And if you're able to figure out the answer to these questions, then you're one step closer to building a business that's in a blue ocean. Now, these first series of questions are pretty straightforward. First is, what is the gender of your avatar and what is the age and the occupation? Next, what is the income or financial situation of this avatar and what is the current situation in work/life? Like, are they single? Do they have a family? Do they have kids? Things like that. All right, now let's dig a little bit deeper with the next series of questions. Next, of what you offer, what is the most important to your ideal client? All right, what is the most pressing need that you need to satisfy? Why should your client work with you instead of the other guy? Where exactly does your client live/work? What needs to happen for your ideal client to want to work with you? Is there a particular time of year where this client is most active? For example, I know in the real estate industry, usually Q4 and Q1 are typically slow and Q2 and Q3 are really like the very busy times. So something to consider. Next question is, how did this client select other agents to work with in the past? Next question is, how does this client make their buying/selling decisions in real estate? And lastly, what is your client's purchasing process? All right, to wrap things up, if you think these questions are particularly difficult to answer, well, that's because they're supposed to be. And if you found it very easy to answer these questions, but still find yourself in a bit of a rut, then you aren't answering these questions correctly. You see, once you figure out that level of discomfort in answering these questions, then that is your telltale sign that you are on the right path to figuring out who your ideal avatar is. Now, if you're feeling stuck trying to figure out who your ideal customer avatar is, then please feel free to reach out. It is one of the things that we are experts in, and we actually have a whole program dedicated to this. Aside from that, I know this video was a little bit out there and abstract, but I'm realizing that most agents need to start thinking a little bit more foundationally about their business, aside from just really the top level strategies about marketing. So with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm going to be making a ton more videos just like this. So if you did find this video helpful, you kind of know the deal. Make sure you smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to get notified for future videos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.